everyone, it's Ryan, and welcome back to Rickhouse Reviews. As always, I am joined at the other end
with Doug.
And today we have my mom here.
Yay.
Hello.
For a very special bottle review. We got our hands on Penelope Rio. Batch 24301. So I guess this is the third batch overall they've done of Rio. It is amburana and honey finished. I believe it comes in at 80 or 98 proof.
There you go.
So 49%.
Yep.
Very tropical bourbon. Kind of in my mom's wheelhouse.
Maybe.
Yeah, you like more rum stuff. So I brought her in today to get a different opinion on this because it is a finished bourbon. I'm excited. You excited?
Yes.
You ready?
Excited.
Always.
Let's get into it. As we start, as always, 25 points for aroma, 30 points for flavor, 25 for finish, 10 for buy again, and 10 points for recommend.
I love this nose, man. It just screams citrusy, cinnamon, and spice, and everything nice.
It smells like breakfast.
Okay.
Like cinnamon sugar toast and orange, a little bit of like orange juice, where like everything is.
Which is what spice rum tastes like.
Smells in the morning. Yeah, it's very true. A little cinnamon toast crunchy going on in there.
Where has all the spice rum gone? That is definitely very smooth of a flavor.
It is. It really is. I gotta say though, the amburana spice and like the cinnamon you get from it kind of runs over all of the sweetness and like the more floral elements in it.
I can see that. Yep.
Yeah. It's a really good. I feel like this is a really
Still
good
very
dessert.
great.
I feel like it's a
dessert.
really good dessert sip though.
You know, I mean, it's not our Penelope Valencia where it's the wonderful old-fashioned in a bottle.
Yeah. The finish is a little rough, but then it gets sweeter
Yes.
as it goes off the palate.
Yeah, I almost got one of those shivery things again because I'm not the bourbon drinker here.
Kentucky hug.
Yeah, I think we did the review of the Penelope in another video. As always, remember, like, subscribe, engage the algorithm. While we're doing this, remember, you can also comment and give us some notes. Let us know what you think. And if you've had this before, tell us your review.
Yeah, give us your opinion on it.
You know?
Glad to hear it from you guys.
And yes, you all did do the other Penelopes. So if you haven't seen the other videos, you need to watch those too.
For sure. I'm really torn on what to give it on the finish. Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
It kind of all blends together after about the third or the fourth sip, though. With that's when the cinnamon gets stronger.
It's like really, it gets sweeter every sip you take. And it's like, this is kind of like the one pour with like a cigar or like after dinner, like 3/4 of an ounce after dinner pour.
Yep.
It'd be really nice. But like, I couldn't see this being like an everyday sipper for someone unless you really like sweat. Yeah.
That would be good with a dessert. I was thinking with a dessert.
Yeah.
Something to put back in a little bit of the sweetness because the cinnamon
have a glass of this with like bananas Foster.
There.
Oh, that's a little too fancy
Banana
for
bread.
me, but whatever. Oh, banana bread, maybe.
Shout out to restaurant in Pentagon City, Makers Union. You guys have it on your menu somehow, and yet it's only for brunch. So I'm going to have to make it out there.
Oh, man. I'm down for that. All right.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, I already scored.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I need to.
Yes.
Okay, I've been drinking and listening and all that kind of good stuff.
That's the best type of stuff.
It is the best kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're going to really kill me on my scores this time around. But I
don't think so.
It's more of what I like about this one.
I've killed you on a couple recent videos. I don't think I'm going to get you on this one.
Some of my favorite bottles that we've got.
Yeah, it's super weird. I've had these discussions on some of the bourbon discords and talk groups I'm in, and everybody's like, I don't get the Penelope thing. And I was like, it's the same mash bill for everything.
Yep.
There's one or two exceptions, like their rye's obviously a rye, and then they have the wheated mash bill now. But their barrel strength, the Valencia, the Rio, the Havana, they're all made with Penelope bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know what base product you're getting, and it's a high-quality product that they then go do high-quality things with.
Yep.
And they're in your wheelhouse. Also, it's all branding.
Yes. Beautiful glassware. Beautiful
Like
coloration.
instead of doing, although they're now doing a cigar series, but instead of doing like calling it a cigar blend, it's Havana.
Yep.
Instead of doing Vino de Naranja, it's Valencia.
Yep.
Instead of doing, you know, decadence or honey finished, it's Rio. It's really, really good in branding. Did I give you enough time?
Yes, you did.
Great, cool.
And then you said Rio, and the first thing I thought of as an old lady was Duran Duran. But we
I
won't
love
go there.
Duran Duran. Is
Okay.
there anything wrong with
Yes.
that? Aroma,
I give it a 23.
22.
22.
Yeah, okay, we're pretty much in agreement. It's very sweet. It's a little cinnamony. Almost like too much cinnamon, though.
Not in the aroma when you first tried it, though. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
right.
when it was all different things,
Mhm.
to me anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so 22 out of 25, I feel like is a good score. 23, I totally agree with. I can see that, too.
Right.
Flavor, let's start with you down there.
25, actually.
25 out of 30, okay.
I really like the flavor. I mean,
Yeah.
it's as you redefined it as like breakfast in a bottle.
Hmm.
It almost has that like cinnamon toast crunch, like you said, and a little bit of orange and a little bit of, you know, cereal just inside a nice bourbon finished liquor.
Yeah, 100%. I gave it a 19 out of 30.
Understandable.
I felt like the amburana kind of ran over like the floral honey notes that you get in the front of the palate that are really, really good. And then it's just amburana. And I think there could have been a little bit more balance here. And so, like, if it had a little bit more balance, it probably would have been like a 23
There
for
you go.
me.
Mm-hmm.
But as stands, 19 out of 30.
I gave it a 20 for the same reasons that you did,
Right.
but also that what you all call the Kentucky hug, that
Mhm.
whole thing that makes me want to shiver at the end, makes me want to take off a few points because I wasn't
Mhm.
really expecting it given the
Mhm.
flavor of it.
So that
I
being
mean, given
said,
the aroma of it when I was
Mhm.
sniffing it,
Yeah.
when I was smelling it,
it
versus
hits,
what I
it drinks
tasted.
hotter than 49%.
Right.
So because it gave you that, what did you give it for the finish?
15 for the same reason.
15 for the same reason. I originally was thinking like 21, and then like the second or third sip, it was a little bit too much burnt sugar, and so I gave it a 19 out of 25.
I gave it a 21 for
Okay.
finish.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My structure. I didn't get the Kentucky hug, and so
I didn't
just
really
was very
either,
smooth
but
for
I couldn't see
palate,
how
yeah.
it drinks
it
hotter.
can.
Yeah, it
Without
can
a
drink
shadow of
hotter
doubt.
for some people.
Because
Mhm.
I'm not normally a true bourbon
Mhm.
drinker.
Hmm.
So we'll get that right there.
You've kind of been going along with me on this journey a little bit, though,
A little
helping
bit.
out on the blinds and stuff.
Mhm.
So it was good to get you in a video.
Yeah. I'm the one who, by the way, has been setting up the blinds for these guys.
And the
Mhm.
background.
So I'm the
we really
background person
appreciate
for
you.
these.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What did you give it for buy again?
So buy again, I gave it a 7 out of 10
Okay.
because I kind of would want a bottle of it in reserve.
Yeah, 100%.
Just because it's one that you can pull out and be like, and have you had some Honey Nut Cheerios today?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, change up the breakfast
I-
food process.
I gave it an 8 out of 10 for
Yep.
the same reasons you just said. It's a great bottle to have. It's a great bottle to pull out. It's like, hey, I know you like bourbon. How about a dessert bourbon? How about a honey finished bourbon that also comes with a lot of flavor? Or if you're coming from it like you, where it's like, hey, I know you like spiced rum, or you're a rum drinker, or you know you like tiki cocktails. Here, have this bourbon that has a lot of those qualities in it. I gave it an 8 out of 10 because for $90, it is less expensive than a lot of double-barreled and finished
Obviously.
bourbons
Mhm.
too.
okay.
What did you give on Buy Again?
Well, I only gave it a 4 because I don't really
Brewed
buy
drink.
bourbon. You know, just get him to bring his bottle over,
There it
or I'll
is.
come over and share. But I did give it a 5 out of 10 for recommend
Cool.
There you go.
because it's a unique type of bourbon because of what we've been talking about with the citrusy notes at the beginning and the cinnamon, and being more of a, if you will, dessert bourbon, as opposed to a, before having sips of it. So
Yep.
I would, kind of recommend it to people if they wanted to try something different, but I'm not one to buy a lot of bourbon in my house.
I gave it a
Being
6
fair.
out of 10.
I gave it a 6 out of 10 as well.
Yeah.
But again, like earlier today, I was getting myself a haircut and got a gentleman talking about bourbon, and I went off on a tangent about Penelope. Just the entire name brand is one that, if you can find it, give it a shot. Truthfully, every bottle has been unique and fun.
Yeah. I gave it a 6 out of 10 for the fact it is unique and fun. And at $90 for a double finished product, I think is a pretty good price point, even though I think it's like 5 or 6 year bourbon.
Right.
I think I would recommend, if you're getting into barrel finish stuff, maybe some double barreled or double oaked stuff.
Right.
First, to be like, okay, I like the flavors that go on top of the bourbon flavors in it before you get into this, because it is a little bit more complex.
Yep.
It's also allocated. So if you find it in some areas, it is going to be secondary pricing. And so for that, 6 out of 10.
Right.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Great. So as usual, we'll average Doug and mine's score and have it over the bottle for everybody keeping track at home. I think it did pretty well.
Mostly, yeah.
And we'll also have Mom's score up, too, for the bottle.
There we go.
Okay. Well, it's been fun. Thank you for
It
having
has
me.
been.
Yep.
I enjoy watching the videos, and you all should too.
Yeah, it's great fun.
I don't like being the only person to comment about something, so that would be nice if you all would, people would do that when they
More
do that
comments coming.
Hopefully
As she
there's more.
said, engage the algorithm. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all the Jonesy things that
Hit the bell.
YouTube likes us to do.
Yeah.
We'll be around as always. This is Rick House Review. I am Doug,
I am Ryan.
and we'll see you next time. And Mom is our special guest.
Bye.
too. Bye.